guys are getting ready to play Arkansas State again. First off, just the memories of last year's game. Does that kind of haunt this team, though, what happened that second half last year?
I don't think it haunts us. I know definitely it's embarrassing, like, to think about it, and quite honestly fuels you a little bit. And then I try not to think about it too much. I know most of us don't, because like Coach Brown told you, since the South game we've been just focused on week to week what we can control. And when we look back at last year's team and this year's team, there's quite a bit of differences and similarities the same. And I think one thing is we're really focused on the task at hand and not so much as a matter of what happened and then trying to, have revenge or something about that game. We're trying just to, stay simple, do our job, and then take care of business, and that'll produce a win for us.
How do you guys focus on the week-to-week aspects, or even the day-to-day with practices and everything, and not look towards that end goal with, if you win this week, there is the conference championship?
It's definitely hard, especially when you get out in public and everybody asks you about it. If y'all win this week, y'all get a conference championship, and yeah, that has been our end goal. But I guess really the real way of not doing it is Neil and the rest of our coaching staff is just telling us, get that out your mind, focus on what you have to do today, and then it kind of just trickles down from guys like Brandon, Chun, and me talking to the younger guys. Like, hey, we know, this a lot of their first times playing everything. It's a really big game, and I think everybody on this team's first chance at really having a good opportunity besides last year and winning the Sun Belt. So it's just definitely there in your head. But I think we definitely, if you do handle your business day to day, and then you go to the game and you're well prepared that way, so you can play. The game has to be played and won before we become conference champion. So you can't do like we did last year, kind of expected to win and expected we were going to be conference champions, and then it didn't turn out the way we wanted to. So you definitely just look at each day and you're like, all right, I got meetings at 2 o'clock, practice at 3 till 4, and I can give my all effort for meetings and practice. And then when you do that every day and stack it up, you become one of the best prepared teams and ready to go into play, and then you're able to play your best.
But you're a competitor. You always enjoy challenging yourself. You going on the road and play for a Sun Belt championship. There's a lot of people who might shy away from that. The attitude seems to be bring it on. Can't wait.
Oh no, the whole team's excited, and we're ready for a challenge. And that's one thing I personally have been looking forward to. I know they're one of the top teams in our conference, and to me those are always my favorite football games, the ones that may come down to the wire, that's going to be hard, that when you show up to practice, you're going to have to bust your butt, because when you show up in a game, every play could be the difference between winning and losing the game. That's honestly, I think, as a competitor, their favorite type of play. At least it should be in my book, because it is in mine. So I'm honestly really excited about lining up and playing against one of the best offenses we've faced this year. And I think it's going to be a good challenge for our defense, but I believe in my guys. I know we'll get out there and handle it.
Coach Brown was talking about schematically how these two offenses are pretty similar. Does that kind of give you going up against this offense every week? How is that going to prepare you for the type of challenge they'll bring you?
It definitely has, and that's a good thing. When we first got to sit down and look at Ark State, most of us watched them play all year, and then we come to realize we've basically been playing them since fall camp. Our offense and their offense is almost identical. We have a great running back. They have a great running back. I know they said he has 1 tackle for loss this whole year. And so we've kind of taken that as a challenge as a defense, that we're going to put that to the test, and we're going to change that stat. But our offense tempos a lot, especially at practice, and we know their offense likes the tempo. And that's one thing I think we can account to our defense as success, is staying in such good shape this year, because we practice against them every week, and they're always tempoing. And so I definitely think we'll be prepared, especially our secondary, because I know they like to pass the ball a lot more than they do like to run it. So I'm looking forward to a good game, and I think our guys are going to get after it.
With all the similarities between this year and last year, 9-2, entering the final game shot at the conference title on the road, what are the differences between last year and this year?
Last year we were a pretty close team. I definitely say this year we're a lot closer. And that's kind of a hard thing to notice or even be able to tell, unless you're there, a part of it. But I think everybody up from the young freshmen, walk-ons to senior scholarship guys, we're all really close. We know each other. We work hard. We know what we're going to get out of each other. And I know whether I'm playing on the field, whether Antoine is or Lucky is a defensive end, I know I can count on them to play and play hard, give it their all. And so that definitely is a key. And then we had good leadership last year, and I think most of us that are leaders this year were leaders on the team last year, so we gained an extra year of experience and kind of learned mistakes that we might have made last year, and then kind of grown also in maturity. So our leadership's better. And then also we have a good coaching staff that was in the same spot as us last year. They realized maybe some mistakes they made in preparation and calling, just depends on what it is. They have improved themselves just as we have. And so I think our confidence, and especially knowing that we were there last year and that we're back here again, we can change the outcome. And that also leads back to the process, just staying in that. And last year, I think we looked more towards the end goal, and then instead of just the process every week to week and then doing our job.
The message this week for the team heading into this game against Arkansas State?
Our message is being 1-0 and finishing, because last year we came up short around this time. So this year, our big thing is finish.
There's a lot of talk in last year's game against Arkansas State, but let's talk about the last game of the season last year, the disappointment not going home with the conference championship. What do you remember about ending the season last year? I
remember, just playing we're playing here against Ark State, that we couldn't get anything going, and then playing at Georgia Southern, 22 seconds, we couldn't get the job done.
What's different about this team now this year?
We, as a team from this team and last year, I know that we are a lot closer than we were last year. Just people hanging out with each other outside of football and helping each other out if we need something. As in, somebody needs a truck, we'll have a group message that somebody will come over there and let them use their truck to move something. So pretty much.
Is there a chip on this team's shoulder from last year? I mean, this is a team that kind of knocked you guys down off your high horse. You were ranked in the top 25, but now to have the chance to go into their house and beat them for the Sun Belt Championship, I'm sure that's in your mind.
I mean, it's in our mind, but like Seth said, we just have to focus one day at a time, because I know whenever we beat LSU, we kind of looked at the bigger picture and then fell short against South Alabama.
I said this. Is it tough to do that with social media, walking around school and everything, and you try to focus on just taking it day by day, but I'm sure people are tweeting you all the time, hey, you win the Sun Belt Conference title, players or students and all that at school doing the same thing. Is it tough to balance that out?
I mean, it's tough, but in our minds, we got to be disciplined and realize that it's one more game that we got to finish strong.
How far removed is that game last year against Arkansas State?
It's not removed at all. It's still, it's a loss in the column, and we just didn't play well at all, especially in the second half when we had a chance to still be in the game. I fumbled in the first drive, and they went on to score after that. So, that loss hurt really bad, coming off a big win against App State. But, same thing like this year at LSU, and then we come back and lose against South. So, it hurts, but you know what? We get to play them again. We're in the same situation we were last year too.
Talking to Seth about that. How similar the two seasons have been. What's the biggest difference heading down the stretch this year in comparison to last year?
This year, we've been there before. We were there last year. I think I said last week, in the same situation we were in last year. And, the fact that last year we'd never been there as a whole, since I've been here, we haven't been winning like that. And I think now that we won like last year, and then we're winning again like this year, we know what to expect. And after that South game, we've just been taking it one game at a time and one day at a time.
You've been here for 5 years now. Arkansas State's one of the teams you've never knocked off. Is that in the back of your mind at all, or are you just focused on the game?
I was just focused on the game. There's a lot at stake, but you can't really worry about that. You got to worry about a day at a time. We don't play until late Saturday night, 6:30. So, we're not really worried about that game right now. We're just worried about our practices and our meetings starting tomorrow and getting to work.
what would it mean for this program to get that Sun Belt Conference title? 3 years with Coach Brown as the head coach, back-to-back shots now to get to the conference championship. What would it mean to take it home this year?
It means a lot. It means a lot to our fan base that support us all year. As you can see, our attendance level has been higher than it's ever been before. So it means a lot to us as players. Coming in, I went 3-9 and 4-8. A lot of guys are on that team too. So it's been a really fun year for us in the last 2 years, and then we just need to get it done.
Manuel, what do you remember most about that game last year against Arkansas State?
We got started kind of slow, and we made a few, plays here and there, but we really never just got in the groove, to where we can take control of the game. I remember it being close up until towards the end of the third quarter, and I feel like we just didn't make enough plays when they needed to be made early in the game, and we kind of dug ourselves in a hole, and it wasn't one that we can dig ourselves out of.
How do you get in that rhythm now? Because you guys are approaching this game the same way you did last year. You're coming off 4 or 5 straight wins. You're heading to this game with 4 or 5 straight wins. How do you, not revert back to that game and start out slow on offense?
You just learn from your mistakes. I'm pretty sure we'll look at last game as a lesson to what do we do different. And I really think last year was more of a stressing and trying to do too much. And I feel like this year's team, we're more relaxed. Like, we're more composed to handle situations like this rather than last year.
Coach mentioned how you guys have to take now one day at a time, focus on meetings, focus on practice instead of the end goal, which is the Sun Belt Championship. How do you do that with, you're still here on campus, I'm sure you hear it out in the community and on Twitter and everything. How do you focus on the day-to-day and not that end goal?
You don't listen to the noise. We take, like I said, he's right, but we take, everything day by day, meeting by meeting, because you can't really go into Monday thinking about Saturday. You do that, you'll miss out on key points that you need to learn throughout the week, whether it's something in the meeting, something on the practice field. So as of right now, like, the first thing we have is a meeting, so that's the only thing that we're worried about now. After the meeting, then it'll be practice, and from there on, it's the next day. And so we're not too much worried about the game right now. We're more so focused on ourselves, and we'll take care of the game when Saturday gets here.
In 3 years, Coach Brown is now playing for back-to-back, opportunity at back-to-back Sun Belt Conference titles in just 3 years here. How has he changed this program in just his short time here?
He, when Coach Brown came in, he brought some valuable pieces with him, and I think more so that's the changing part that a lot of people fail to realize is we have a staff full of great people and full of great coaches. With the standing out Coach Horton, he really pushed us, man, and he's a key part to why the culture is changing of the program, and there's really mental toughness and that we didn't have my freshman year or a lot of my sophomore year. We was kind of all gelling, but that's played a big part of changing the culture. How we all we bought into the things he was trying to do here, and we built a family, and that's it's a lot easier to bond with family than a lot of guys trying to play for a common goal.
That's what a lot of people have said have been the difference in last year's team and this year's team. They said the chemistry was great last year, but it's even better this year. Would you agree with that? It's a big difference in 2016 and 2017?
I wouldn't say it's a big difference. I feel like we all love each other, we all like each other, we all like being around each other. The chemistry is pretty much hands on. The difference between this year and last year is just clicking at the right time. And now, like I said, last year we kind of started the season off on fire, had a few lumps here and there, but we ended kind of slow. This year we started the season off. We started the season off with a loss, and then came back and won a few games, and then lost against South. And now we're on another winning streak. And so it's kind of we're more consistent, if you ask me, this year when it comes to winning than last year.
We were talking off camera, and you said you got 2 more games left in your career. Nothing would be better than going out with 11 wins. What would it mean to go out with 11 wins, a bowl victory, and a Sun Belt Conference championship?
I feel like I have accomplished what I have set out to accomplish. And that's, like I said, at the end of the day, people say win games, this and that, but at the end of the day, the conference championship is the ultimate title. Like that's That's why we practice all year for 12 games. You know, it's like, it's crazy how you go through 365 days just for one moment. And that's to hold up the trophy at the end of the season. And if you're not holding up the Sun Belt trophy at the end of the season, that season to me is a failure. And so like last year we failed, you know, this year we're not looking for the same results.